Every time the old man cooked, he would pour a spoonful of water into the oil because water hitting hot oil would splatter everywhere. This way, steam would seep into the ingredients and make them puff up. Then by repeating the process, the deer tendon in the pan would expand, and food cooked this way would taste amazing. But when his grandson took a bite of the dish, he complained it was awful. The old man flew into a rage, not only beating his grandson half to death, but the very next day, while the boy went to get medicine, he set himself on fire. This old man was known as the king of Chinese cuisine, Akiyama Kaiichiro. In his final moments, he sent his grandson to train at his rival's restaurant. Now the 16-year-old protagonist was just a trainee, but he was about to take charge of the stove for the first time. After learning the dish was pepper steak strips for 50 people, he confidently figured he could just take the recipe for 5 portions and multiply everything by 10. Pepper steak strips were a simple stir fry. You start with a hot pan and oil, then toss in ginger and garlic. Next add the fried bamboo shoots, beef strips, and 3 colored bell peppers. For 5 portions, you add 1 spoon of soy sauce, 2 spoons of oyster sauce, and sugar with sake and chicken stock. For 50 portions, just multiply everything by 10. Finish by adding chopped fermented black beans for extra flavor. Just before serving, taste it and it's done. But the moment he took a bite, his expression froze. He could not figure out what went wrong. No matter how many times he adjusted it, the taste stayed the same. It was beyond just bad, and to make things worse, the customers were starting to rush them. The head chef saw the dish was ready and took a taste. As expected, the protagonist got chewed out for making terrible food, and because he had always been so arrogant, his co-workers showed zero sympathy when they heard him get yelled at. He then walked straight out of the kitchen. Even after work ended, no one saw him again. When Okanagi said he was outside crying by himself, his co-workers all wore smug looks. Mochizuki, who always had it out for him, even laughed out loud. He knew the protagonist had zero experience cooking in bulk, so failure was inevitable. By then the protagonist had already punched the wall in anger until his knuckles bled. Luckily Okanagi came to comfort him. Though he didn't get the bad joke, he still appreciated the kindness. During their talk, Okanagi mentioned that he often got complaints about his staff meals having too much water. The protagonist immediately latched onto that key word. He rushed back to the kitchen to remake the dish he had failed at earlier. It turned out that moisture was the key for large batch cooking, so he never actually needed to add that much chicken stock. Once he adjusted the seasonings and poured them into the pan. This time, the pepper steak strips were a huge success. After this incident, the bond between the protagonist and Okanagi grew much stronger, so much so that on their days off, they would hang out together. But even when going out, they still needed to eat. The protagonist planned to find some ingredients to cook, and wild quails in the area were especially common and easy to catch. He thought about catching a few to make soup, but Okanagi, on the other hand, managed to catch a large rooster. It clearly escaped from a nearby farm. The protagonist suddenly got a great idea.